Hi, welcome to Sports Talk. This is Bill Foley, coming back for a second year, September 1st, the year 2000. Got a lot of things going on, a lot of great things happening this year on Sports Talk. We're going to have trivia questions, we're going to have giveaways, we're going to have a lot of input from people calling in at 751-5786. We're going to talk baseball, teams in contention, top 25 college football, and of course the NFL starts this Sunday. Lots of action at the sports book today. Real busy all day. Also, I'm going to introduce you to the sponsor of the show, and I'm a special guest, Perry Swanson. All that and more when we come back on Sports Talk.
Pahrump, some say it's the view. Maybe it's the friendly small-town feeling. We all feel like family. Pahrump Valley View newspaper is all part of it. It's ours, local stories, merchants, events, and it's in your Las Vegas Review-Journal or Sun every Tuesday. Be part of it. It's family.
Hey, Carl Moore here again with Floyd's Ace Home Center. We talk a lot about a lot of things, building materials, or even the sporting goods or in the store, but one of the things that are critical is to your house and home is insulation. And Ace Guardian brand insulation is one of the best on the markets. Ace puts their label on it, Guardian makes it. It's great. The summer months are coming up. Insulation is probably one of the best things you can do to keep them cooling bills down, to keep your house a lot cooler than it is now. Do it in your garages, do it everywhere you can. Ace Guardian insulation is one of the best products you can get. The great thing about having us here close is if you have any questions on installing the insulation, and insulation is a real easy product that you can install yourself. Very simple. Just come up back, ask us. We'll be glad to explain to you the sizes that you should use for what walls or your ceilings. Beauty about us being here is we know our business. We will help you out, kind of give you easy guides how to put that stuff together. Remember, Ace Guardian brand insulation.
Hi, welcome back to Sports Talk. You know the old adage, behind every man there's a good woman. Well, behind every sports talk show you got a good sponsor. I want to invite Ruby Ramirez here. Her and her husband Bernardo are owners of Amigos Men's Fashion, right behind the old Carmen's Cantina. They've been here for about 3 months now, and how's business going?
Correct. Well, business is pretty much doing okay, thanks to everybody here in Pahrump, and I hope everybody else comes in too.
Right now, she's commuting. She's trying to talk her husband into moving out to Pahrump, but you ought to go into their store. Beautiful clothes. I picked this one up here the other day for less than $20, pants for less than $20. And Ruby has a special a giveaway deal for all the people in Pahrump. You want to tell them about it?
Yeah, we want to invite everybody to come in, and with the purchase of no more than $15, you guys get a free pair of glasses, wallet, or a six-pack of socks.
Yeah, and like I said, when you go in there, you won't believe the prices of the stuff they have. I mean, very reasonably priced. You can take your your teenage kids in there. They got lots of clothes for men. They're starting to get stuff in for the younger kids.
Right, we're starting to get stuff in from like 8-year-olds down to 4-year-olds. So, in case you got a little one at home, you can bring them down too.
Yeah, like you're talking about backpacks earlier, right?
Yeah, maybe later in the future.
You got some fitted hats,
hats,
sunglasses,
glasses,
lots of clothes, lots of beautiful clothes.
Variety of stuff.
And I'd like to thank Ruby again and her husband for sponsoring this show. And the next time we come back, we'll have Perry Swanson on the air. We're going to go to another commercial break and be right back with some sports talk.
Need a reliable vehicle with payment plans to suit your budget? Cactus Auto Sales can help and wants your business. We feature many late model trucks and cars to meet your needs. Extended warranties and financing are available. Trade-ins are welcome. Come see us today. Cactus Auto Sales, 4481 South Money. Call us 727-6464. You'll be glad you did.
Empire Plumbing is rapidly becoming the largest plumbing company in Pahrump. With over 30 years of experience, we know plumbing problems happen 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. and we're available when you need us. Along with the service department, Empire Plumbing has a residential and commercial new construction department so that we can do all of your plumbing now and in the future. Empire Plumbing, we do quality and production plumbing, not production quality.
There's a new look at Pahrump Station Plaza. Now there's easier access via the new Palm Tree Line Street, plus your gateway to these fine merchants.
If you care for your car, take it to Super Car Wash, where your car's look is our concern. That's why we use vinyl protectant on your interior and on your tires. We offer pickup and delivery from your work if you're too busy to bring your vehicle in. Detailing is available for all vehicles. So bring your vehicle into Super Car Wash, located at 1271 South Highway 160.
Hi, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm with my buddy here, Perry Swanson, getting ready to talk about all kinds of sports. Let's start with baseball, Perry.
Hey.
And baseball's going down the stretch now. We're in September. The last call-ups were made. Red Sox make a deal at the very end, picking up Dante Bichette, make a last drive towards the pennant. I just left the house, watched them beat the Mariners 5-2. Big victory they needed right now. They're trailing the Yankees, I think, by 3 games, and they're out of the wild card by a game and a half. But in the American League, you're looking at the Red Sox and the Yankees. In the middle there, you got the Indians and the White Sox, and the West Coast, you're looking at the Mariners and the A's, and the Angels still have an outside chance, but they got a lot of teams to climb over. Who do you look to come out of the American League?
I'll tell you what, the Indians are playing good right now.
Yeah.
They were started off bad and everything like that, and they're on a roll. I see Cleveland slipping in there.
Do you? Upsetting the Yankees?
The Yankees aren't playing too good. They're having some pitching problems.
Yeah, they're having a lot of pitching problems. That's true. A lot of injuries. They do have good old reliable Roger Clemens and David Cohn, of course. Last 4 outings, he's 2-1 with 3.68 ERA. Of course, his first part of the year he was 1-10. Yeah. In the National League, in the East, you got Atlanta and the Mets, basically a half a game apart. In the Central, the Reds are out of it now. They trail. Who they trail? Well, whoever they trail enough.
got the Cardinals.
The Cardinals. No Mark McGwire, and the Reds trail them by 8.5 games, basically out of the race. And in the West, of course, you're looking at the Diamondbacks trailing the Giants, and the Dodgers are trying to stay in the race also.
And the Diamondbacks are having some problems also.
Yeah, Randy Johnson finally pitched a good game after about 3 bad games.
Yeah.
And Diamondbacks, with their pitching, the Stottlemyre coming back, 3 games behind San
might help them out a little
Francisco.
bit.
San Francisco's not very deep. They keep doing it with mirrors. That Dusty Baker, every year he's in contention with guys like Mueller and nobodies. The
Right.
catcher there and the first baseman JT Snow for a long time, just hitting
Playing
220. A lot of
good.
good
Ellis
defense.
Burks.
Ellis Burks, and of course,
Kent-
don't forget
Kent.
Bonds and Kent, the 2 best players on their team. The question for the viewers that we're throwing out for the day, we're going to keep track of this question and see what the most popular answer is. We'll do that every week. Who do you think is going to win this year's 2001 Super Bowl? You can call in with your reasons, who you like, and we'll keep tabs on it. Also, the trivia question for today in football. Which two quarterbacks in the last 2 years have thrown the most touchdowns in the NFL? And we do have a little gift for you if you get that right. I'll give you one clue since it is a tough question. Both quarterbacks are in the NFC. Speaking of football, we have college football coming up tomorrow and the pros on Sunday.
Underway.
Yeah, we got a top 25 matchup with Southern Miss and Tennessee. Big matchup. Yeah. Tennessee loses most of their offense. T. Martin goes to the Steelers. Lord knows they can use him at quarterback. Jamal Lewis goes to Baltimore. Much of their offense is gone, and Southern Miss last year, the Conference USA champions, coming in off an 8-3 record. And everybody and their brother is betting Southern Miss. That line's down to 9 everywhere.
Yeah, I like Southern Miss. They got a lot of people returning and everything, and they had a good year last year.
Yeah, the best year they've had in a long time. Long time. The phone number here is 751-5786. That's 751-5786. We appreciate your calls with your opinions and maybe some answers, maybe a couple trivia questions of your own. Another big matchup, maybe not in a way for top 25 action for this team yet, but Notre Dame comes in. Bob Davies on the hot seat. Last year, a 6-6 season, 2 years in a row, no bowl games. I think it might be 3 years in a row, no bowl games. Texas A&M coming into South Bend tomorrow. Their front seven still intact from last year on a great defensive unit. And Notre Dame's going to have some problems. They got Arnez Battle for Jarius Jackson, who set all the Notre Dame records last year, a guy nobody really respected as a quarterback, according to media reports, but he did a good job in camp for Denver. But it's going to be Arnez Battle against the front seven A&M. That's your boys against the Irish going to South Bend at 10 o'clock. Well, we'll see what happens. What do you think?
Really don't like the game or anything, but I think Notre Dame's going to have another tough year. I don't see them going to a bowl game again.
Well, you know their schedule. It's a brutal schedule to start with. They start out with Tennessee, and next week back-to-back they got Nebraska. And that's at home also.
Right there.
Notre Dame. Last time Notre Dame was a big dog at home was about 9 years ago when Charlie Ward was with Florida State. Florida State came in a 7-point dog and left with their first loss of the year, and Notre Dame ended up winning the national championship. That was one of the best games I've ever seen, actually.
Yeah.
Remember that game?
Yep, it was a great game.
Okay, let's go to the pros now. The first game on the docket for Sunday is the Indianapolis Colts at the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, of course, you remember Derek Thomas, the unfortunate incident with Thomas. Okay, we got a phone call. Go ahead.
I'm calling for the sports talk question.
Go ahead, sir.
Is the answer Brett Favre and Steve Young?
Brett Favre and Steve Young? No, it's not. That was a good guess. Good guess. You got any questions or want to talk about any teams or anything? Gone? Okay. Got Indianapolis to Kansas City. Like I was saying, you got the unfortunate situation with Derek Thomas in the car accident, paralyzed himself. I believe he died like a week or so later.
Right.
Hard to come back from that as it is. And then you got the weapons that Indianapolis has, Edgar and James, Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, going up against a team of Kansas City, which really doesn't have much to throw against Indianapolis. If they get into a shootout, Kansas City has no chance, and I believe their only chance is turnovers. And
right. Kansas City's got a great defense, so that'll play a little part. But the Colts, I just think with like you said, with Manning, Harrison, and James, they're young.
Yeah.
I mean, they remind me of the young Cowboys.
Yeah,
when they were in their big year, and that's the way the Colts look like.
They're explosive. Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead,
Yeah, I
caller.
was calling about the question.
Yeah.
Is it Brett Favre and Kurt Warner?
No, it's not. So most touchdowns over the last 2 years. Warner had 41 last year. Yeah, over the last 2 years.
2 years. Okay, I'll think again and call back.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and Kansas City, I was reading a stat, a very amazing stat. 37 games they had at home as an underdog in Arrowhead Stadium. 31-6 straight up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an unbelievable stat. So that's something to consider in that game. But like I said, with Manning, James, and Harrison, it's going to be hard even at home. The crowd's going to be up, a lot of emotion. But you know what? It's the first game of the year, and both teams are going to be emotional, not just Kansas City because of Derek Thomas. Both teams will be emotional. Also, next game, we got the Bears at the Vikings. It's going to be a very interesting game. We got Dante Culpepper's first start. The Vikings lost Jeff Christie and McDaniel, two offensive linemen. They went to Tampa Bay. Cade McNown is going to start for the Bears. Last year he had 8 touchdown passes and 10 interceptions. But the Bears gave the Vikings all they wanted last year in the 2 games they met. They won in Minnesota and beat Minnesota again. And this year they go back to Minnesota for the first game of the year. They got Curtis Innis. How does he look, and what do you think of the game?
That's the biggest thing. Bears going to have to have a running game. If McNown wants to be good this year, they got to have a running game. If Innis isn't the guy, then I don't know who it's going to be.
Well, the big question here is Culpepper. We've seen Culpepper like everybody did on the ESPN game. He throws the long bombs to Moss, makes it look easy. But, you know, in that Cardinals game, they lost 4 players for the year. Aeneas Williams wasn't starting. and everybody beat the Cardinals. You know, I was in San Diego on vacation when the Vikings went down there, and the Vikings jumped out to a 7-0 lead sometime in the second quarter. Very sloppy game. It looked terrible. They looked terrible the whole game. San Diego scores the next 38 points, and Culpepper didn't look good at all. On national TV, though, it gives you that different, you know, the different look. Everybody sees it. Everybody didn't see the San Diego game.
Vikings got everything. I mean, they got the running back, they got the 2 receivers. It's going to be up to Culpepper to make the Vikings the Vikings.
Well, I'll tell you what. After what the Vikings did 2 years ago, I'm not wishing them any luck. Let's go to a call.
Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I was calling back. I had another thought about that sports question.
Okay.
We probably know it's Brett Favre,
Yep.
and I'm thinking maybe Doug Flutie.
Nope. 2 NFC quarterbacks. That's a clue for you.
Oh, that's right. He's AFC.
Yeah. So
Okay.
appreciate the
My
call.
son does have another question for you, though.
Go ahead.
Are you related to Mick Foley?
The wrestler?
Yeah. Well, it's sports. You never know.
Yeah, no. The guy's a great wrestler. He jumps through chain link fences onto mats and everything.
Yeah.
He's a tough wrestler. That's my son's favorite. One of my son's favorite wrestlers.
Well, it's one of mine, too.
Yeah.
And we did see you this afternoon.
Pardon me?
We did see you this afternoon. Just want to say hi.
Oh, hey, appreciate
I
it.
just met you for the first time.
Hey.
I was doing that commercial, so
All right, thanks a lot.
thought we'd tune in and give you some support.
Okay,
Enjoy the
appreciate
show
it.
so far.
All right,
We'll
thanks.
think about that question. Call back.
Okay.
Thanks.
Right. Okay, next game we got Tampa Bay at New England. Tampa Bay coming in again with Sean King, known as a running team, but you got to take into consideration, even though they're a running team, you know, you roll through the stats of last year, you kind of forget what happened, this, that, and the other thing. They pick up Keyshawn Johnson, a good wide receiver. Sean King, though, is just a typical, you know, pocket quarterback. He's not really a runner. You know, he throws them little 10-yard outs. You know, Keyshawn's susceptible to a lot of damage being done. And I was talking to you about Tampa Bay being a running team. They only averaged 3.4 yards a carry, which isn't very good for a running team.
Right. Tampa Bay, the biggest thing for them was the defense. Now they go out and they knew they had to put on a little offensive show, go out and get Keyshawn and everything. I think they'll put some points on the board now and won't rely on their defense to keep them in the game from now on.
Another thing with their offense, before I go to this caller, I said earlier the Vikings lost Christie and McDaniel. Tampa Bay's the one that picked them up. You got Christie and McDaniel, and then you got Allstott, Dunn, Keyshawn Johnson, and King. Another year under his belt. They should be a real tough team in a division that seems to be real competitive. Let's go to a caller.
Go ahead, caller.
Hi, Bill.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Dan. I'm a friend of yours, and I'm glad to see that you got a show. I missed you last year. I was back east.
Yeah.
But this is, I got an answer. I think I got the answer here. I'm not sure. Randall Cunningham and Brett Favre.
Nope, Cunningham didn't have it last year.
Oh, okay.
But Cunningham did, I think, lead the NFL the year before. But last year, you know, he started the first 4 or 5 games, and then George came in. So.
Right, thanks. And I got to ask you one question.
Go ahead.
You and Perry.
Yeah.
Perry, I'm a big Redskins fan since the late 50s. The Giants used to beat them like 52-3, and I think I threw little coconuts at the screen. I was down in Miami at the time. It was the old NFL. The AFL wasn't there yet. Give me your opinion. Are the Redskins for real this year?
Yeah, the Redskins do look real. The guy goes. The only thing I don't like is the owner for the Redskins goes out and gets some older players and pays $1 million for them with Dion and
Smith.
And Smith. I mean, he didn't need those older players. The team's a little bit too old. I do think they have the players. It's just as long as injuries don't shut them down, I think they'll be there.
Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it, and good luck on the show.
Appreciate the call. And remember, the question for the day is, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, well, I think the Redskins are going to win.
All right, we'll give them a vote then, the Redskins. We got
Thanks a
one
lot,
vote.
fellas.
Thank you. Call
Bye-bye.
back. Okay, we talked about Tampa Bay. Now, what about New England? What do you think is a key for them to stay in the game with Tampa Bay? It's a close game. Tampa Bay's only a 2.5, 3-point favorite on the road.
Patriots, Bledsoe's going to need some help. I mean, he lost Coates, Jefferson, Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, that was his whole.
And he really looks terrible when he's pressured.
Oh yeah.
Don't he?
Yes.
So
definitely.
maybe New England should reverse it and go after King. Maybe put the pressure on him.
Yeah.
But they got to force pass situations. We got another caller. Caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Is it
Or evening.
Bart Favre or Brett Favre and Troy Aikman?
Nope. Good guess. Brett Favre's an automatic. We got Brett Favre. We need
know
one
that.
more.
I just thought it was Troy Aikman.
No, we
And
need
my
one.
vote for the Super Bowl is the Steelers, by the way.
Steelers. All right. I'm going to have to put that on the right. Steelers. Okay,
Make
appreciate
sure
the
they're
call.
on top.
Okay, Carolina and Washington, speaking of the Redskins, okay, Redskins get Bruce Smith, which you mentioned, or I mentioned Smith, you mentioned Dion, also Mark Carrier, defensive back. They just signed Green to a long-term contract. He's already 40 years old. Of course, Stephen Davis leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns last year. They already got Westbrook. Now they have two quarterbacks, Brad Johnson and Jeff George. So in case Johnson goes down, which typically he does, you got to bring Jeff George into the game. You got to expect Johnson to get hurt sometime. Right. He got hurt every single year so far in the NFL.
And George is prone to getting hurt too.
And his attitude, Minnesota was easy because Minnesota rolled. But with Washington, it knows. They're on the spot now. This owner has spent all this money. Norv Turner's been a loser every year except last year. I remember the first game of the year last year against the Cowboys. Washington was ahead by 21 points in the fourth quarter. Blew it, went to overtime, and lost it at home. And they weren't the same the whole year. I think they started out, what did they start the season out, like 1-4 or something like that. And Norv Turner said, we got bad breaks, this and that. Let me tell you something, Norv. You play to lose. You don't play to win, and that's the reason you're losing your games. You need to let the offense open up and play the game like it's a full 60 minutes, not like it's 48 minutes. In the last 12 minutes, you're just trying not to lose. You need to open the game up a little bit. And by the way, Washington did win their division last year after a slow start, and they got eliminated in the playoffs, I believe, by Tampa Bay. Carolina, of course, they have Steve Berline and Muhammad, the wide receiver. Diak Matuka. He might be hurt, though. I haven't heard. I don't know if he's hurt.
Well, I know
Muhammad.
Pat Jeffers is out and everything, and then you got was it Casey, their kicker?
Yeah, he's out for the year.
And he's out for the year also.
Okay, we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about Baltimore and Pittsburgh, along with the rest of the games, the Sunday night matchup, and don't forget Monday night, the last three Super Bowl champs, the Broncos and the Rams. We'll be right back.
From the developers of the lakes of West Sahara, Spanish Oaks, and over 30 other communities in the Southwest, comes a 3,000-acre master-planned resort community. Introducing Mountain Falls, country club living that starts from the low 130s. Imagine life with a beautiful home on an oversized lot, a fabulous mountain view, and an 18-hole championship golf course just a 9-iron away. You get it all: the home, the lifestyle, and the view for thousands less than Las Vegas Valley prices. Just minutes away from where you live now, Mountain Falls Resort Community is nestled in the heart of nearby Pahrump Valley. The lifestyle you've been waiting for is finally available. Simply call 1-877-GO-FALLS or 562-8815. That's 1-877-GO-FALLS and start living the country club lifestyle. Call now and ask to preview this exciting new community. Mountain Falls, your new home.
For all your construction needs, big or small, call Ron Murphy Construction, one of Pahrump's most respected contractors, from septic tank installation to pad development. Roads, driveways, and infrastructure, Ron Murphy Construction has the experience and the expertise to complete your project on time and at a reasonable cost. Ron Murphy knows the Pahrump Valley and wants to take the desert and turn it into a place of beauty, be it home or business development. For more information, call Ron Murphy Construction, 727-6090.
At Pahrump Pool & Spa, our goal is lots of happy customers. We try to accomplish this by increasing our knowledge through education, finding new and improved products, and just working real hard for you, our customer. At Pahrump Pool & Spa, you'll find old-fashioned service and newfangled technology. Please stop by and see us. We're at Homestead by Lakeside, or call us at 751-5969.
Welcome back to Sports Talk. Talking NFL right now. We're on the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. A game in which Bill Cowher's starting Graham over Stewart at quarterback.
Smart move.
Yeah. Cordell Stewart, one touchdown pass last year in every 46 attempts. That's the worst in NFL history. And another stat that's going to surprise you is the Steelers give up 4.4 yards per carry on the ground. And against the Ravens, if you can't stop the running game, that passing game they got now with Shannon Sharp, Ben Coates, the other receiver that they got there,
Taylor,
Jamal Lewis, who's injured. He'll miss the first couple of games, and Tony Banks, the quarterback, seems to be made for Billick, the coach who came from Minnesota with Cunningham. Basically, a lot alike. Both fumble a lot, but they throw the ball deep. What do you think about the game, Pittsburgh and Baltimore?
I think Pittsburgh's going to keep the game close. I see their defense rising to the occasion this time. I don't think they'll give up that 4 yards a carry. And I also like Graham quarterback. And I mean, that's the best move they ever made.
Sure is.
They need to stick Stewart back to receiver or something like that.
Well, they
That's the
signed
best
him to
place
that
they can
giant
help him.
contract a couple years ago after 2 down years. I mean, it was totally
They were
ridiculous. He's the most overpaid athlete in any sport. I don't have nothing against Stewart personally, but he's not a quarterback that's going to be able to play all year and lead you to a championship. I don't know how he got to the AFC Championship game in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, but I tell you what, he had to do it with mirrors.
And hopefully the Ravens can, get over that Ray Lewis thing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Callers, we still want
Hopefully
your
play a little defense.
Yeah, we still want your vote on the Super Bowl winner this year, 751-5786. Next game, Arizona Cardinals at the New York Giants. Giants 6.5-point favorites. Cardinals, injuries against the Vikings, still hurting them. Rob Moore out for the year. Simeon Rice, defensive end, is a holdout. And Ron Dane, the running back for the Giants, going to be his first game in the Meadowlands, rookie, Heisman Trophy winner, with the old NY on the helmet, old times. Is it going to be old style Giants football or what?
Now if the Cardinals can open up some holes for,
the Giants.
Jones to run through.
Oh.
And Plummer and everything like that, he might be on the run. But for the Giants, Collins will have Dane and everything like that, and I see the Giants having a good game.
Well, another thing to remember with Ron Dane, Cardinals 30th against the rush last year in the whole NFL. Go ahead, we got a call, please.
Go ahead and call her.
Hello.
Yeah.
How you doing? Calling back with another guess for that sports question, but I will put in my vote for the Super Bowl winner.
Okay, go ahead.
Just out on a limb, since I'm from Chicago, we'll go with the Bears.
Okay, I'm going to put that under the Steelers. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. The guess I'm thinking is Brett Favre and Chris Miller.
Nope, incorrect.
Oh, doggone it. We're got to be getting close, though.
What's your name, caller?
My name's Al.
Oh, Al, you're the one I met today at the...
That's right.
Okay, I'll keep calling in and appreciate your call.
We certainly will.
Okay,
we'll
thank
keep
you.
watching the show. I appreciate all the information.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, so we got the Giants. You like rolling in that game. Next game's an interesting game. Jacksonville Jaguars at the Cleveland Browns. Jaguars -10 in the game. Last year, they were second in the run offensively, and last year Cleveland last against the rush and the pass defensively. It's going to be a tough start for Cleveland, but Jacksonville comes without Leon Searcy.
Taylor.
Yeah, Fred Taylor's out, a beat-up offensive line, and Cleveland...
James Stewart, who helped them out last year, went to Detroit.
Yeah. Cleveland starts out at least at home like they did last year when they got shut out by Pittsburgh on Sunday night. But this year they don't have Ty Detmer starting. They got Couch with a year under his belt. We got a call.
Yeah, I put me down as the Buccaneers to go to Super Bowl. I'm going to take a shot in the dark and it's Favre and Batch.
Nope. Good guess, though.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, we're on Jacksonville and Cleveland. We're talking about Cleveland's defensive woes. They made a lot of transactions in the offseason. They also got the guy from Penn State, Courtney Brown, #1 pick in the draft. They passed on Arrington. They passed on Samuels.
I think the defense is going to be the bright spot for Cleveland. Couch is going to have some trouble on the offensive end, but I think the defense is going to be there.
An interesting thing, preseason stat, I know it don't mean a lot. Cleveland had more first downs than their opponents in preseason, even though they didn't score a lot of points, and they were beaten, I think, in all 4 games, or they lost at least 3 out of 4. I don't really keep track of the preseason records totally, but I know Cleveland did outgain their opponents in first downs. Go ahead, we got another call.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, I got a guess for the sports talk question.
Okay.
Brett Favre and Jake Plummer.
Nope, that's a real good guess. No,
But
Jake.
actually, I do want to put in my vote for the other thing. It's, of course, the Packers.
Packers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
5 different teams.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, going down the line here, San Francisco at Atlanta. What happened to both of these two teams last couple of years? San Francisco was first, believe it or not, last year in the whole NFL in rushing. And the other stat is Atlanta was 30th in the NFL against the rush. Even though Atlanta comes into the game a 6-point favorite, bet up to 6.5 and 7 in some spots. San Francisco, I think, has a chance to go into Atlanta and upset them. Steve Garcia, the first quarterback other than Montana or Young to start for the Niners since 1980. A lot of pressure on him, but he did play last year, and he played pretty good in preseason.
That one's tough. I mean, who would think Garcia going to make up for Young or Montana? Oh my gosh! Even though they do have the players there,
Yeah.
the receivers
They still
are
got
there,
good
and they
players.
got great players. If Garcia can play good, then sure, I can see him going in there. Plus, there's going to be Jamal Anderson's knee. So.
We'll see how good he comes back. He was real slow in the preseason. Go ahead, we got a caller.
Mr. Foley.
Yes.
Is it Favre and Chandler?
No, it isn't.
Darn. I'll call back. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Going back to the Atlanta game, you got to remember that they were outrushed last year, the Falcons on the ground. Speaking of 30th in the league against the run, by 900 yards. You're talking, that's over 50 yards a game rushing that the Falcons were outgained by. The next game we're going to talk about after I take this call is the Lions and Saints. Go ahead, caller.
Hello?
Yeah.
Is it Favre and Manning?
No, it's not.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Next game we're talking about is the Lions and Saints. Of course, everybody knows Charlie Batch had injury problems in preseason. Coach appointed Stoney Case to start Sunday against the Saints, and the Saints are going to be a new-look team this year, believe it or not. They got what they call in New Orleans now the West Coast offense. Everybody's heard of it. The Niners made it fashionable in the 80s. The Rams went to it. They got Blake in the backfield, Ricky Waters, and they picked up a couple wide receivers. They got Jake Reed and Glover. It's going to be a totally different offense.
Everything. New coaches,
Yeah.
new players, new attitude.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I think the Saints step up this year in a division where you're going to have the Falcons and the 49ers, very mediocre, and Carolina, who knows how they're going to be with all their injuries, and you're going to have the Rams. They're going to have a good year. Rams are going to have a good year, but they're not going 13-3 again. I look for the Saints to be somewhere around the 500 team and surprise some people, just with talent, getting older together. Ricky Williams in his second
Williams
year.
should come back and
Yeah.
play some good football.
Okay, we got a caller. Go ahead.
Would it be Joe Montana and Brett Favre?
No, Joe Montana hadn't played in 5 years. Did you meet? This is over the last 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Next game we go to here is Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowboys. Very interesting game. Andy Reid had the Eagles a nice season last year the way he brought along Donovan McNabb. Even though at the start of the season I criticized him because he didn't start him right away. You know, you got McNabb, throw him into the fire. You know, you're not going to the playoffs. Let him learn. You know, you learn your lessons by hard knocks in the NFL. But he did a good job bringing him along. Deuce Staley last year, 1,273 total yards rushing. Very good team, Philadelphia, but they were last in the NFL against the pass, and they shored it up. They signed a couple of guys via free agency, and Dallas made a couple of moves also.
Right. And there's the Eagles being another young team and everything like that. A couple years, I think. I mean, if not this year, next year they should be pretty good.
Well, Dallas, don't forget this year in preseason, no Emmitt Smith for all four. Well, actually, Dallas played 5. All 5 preseason games, you had no Emmitt Smith. You got Michael Irvin retiring. I believe they picked up Joey Galloway, right?
Right, that's why they got Galloway and Ishmael.
Okay, Ishmael on the other side. They got Randall Cunningham backing up Troy Aikman. Cunningham didn't play in the last 3 preseason games because of his shoulder. But this is another situation where the dog might come up and bite you. Philadelphia always plays Dallas tough, but the thing is they got to contain the pass. Go ahead, caller.
How about Favre and Burnell?
Nope, it's 2 NFC teams. That's the clue.
Oh, got the wrong one. Okay, thanks.
Good guess. All right, let's go to the next game. Seattle at Miami. Seattle, I think, got a steal in the draft. I'm going to say it right now. Sean Alexander from Alabama, running back, backing up Ricky Waters. Ricky Waters had over 1,200 yards rushing last year. Miami, no Dan Marino. Okay.
Right.
They start a guy named Jay Fiedler. Jay Fiedler was a third-string quarterback on the Vikings a few years ago. Miami looked they looked so horrible in preseason that I was actually watching highlights of a WNBA game when they were on TV. I mean, that's how boring they were.
I don't even, without Marino, what kind of offense are they going to have? Can they run the ball?
No,
Who's a running back?
We're talking about running. I think J.J. Johnson, the guy that was going to be suspended for steroids, I think he got that taken either down to 1 game or completely nonished. I don't know what it was. But Miami last year, 3.1 yards a carry, even though they tried to run the ball every game. You wonder why Dan Marino had bad games? Averaging 3 yards a carry per, and I'm sure they had a few runs for 40 and 50 yards the whole season. And you figure you take that in consideration, it all comes down to 3 yards of carry. No wonder Marino had a tough year. 2nd and 9, third and 8, 3rd and 13.
And who's their deep threat this year? Martin?
They're in trouble.
Was he
Miami's in
35
big
years
trouble.
old?
Yeah. Can I get a caller, please?
Yeah, it's Ray Mello. How you doing?
Hey, Ray, how's it going, pal?
I need to know who the 1949 wrestling champion of Russia is.
Well,
you had that question last year.
Hey, Ray, I hope you're not drinking anything but O'Doul's tonight. We went over this
Hey,
before.
listen, this is driving me crazy. Last year they asked you and you still don't know Foley?
No, I didn't look that up. I knew one wrestling question, though.
Yeah, wrestling questions.
Who do you got to pick for the Super Bowl, Ray?
I got to raise my volume. He told me to lower it. Okay, say it again.
You got to pick for the Super Bowl.
Well, I'll go with the Bears. Sure, the other
Wow,
guy
this is
did. Al
incredible.
said he's from Chicago.
This
I'm
is
from
the only
Chicago.
sports show in the whole world that has 2 votes for the Bears.
See, they're going to
before I
win
get a
something
vote for
here,
a
huh?
Titans or a Rams.
Win on
I
your show.
want you to know that.
Hey, make sure you guys give the best bet of the week.
Okay, we'll do
on
that at the end of the
football.
show. We
That's
still
what
got
I'm
about
interested in. It was
20
fantastic.
minutes.
Your record last year was fantastic, and that's what I listen for. And sometimes I get an incoming call, and I say, geez, I don't want to miss this, and I got to cut these people short. So, all right, you guys have a good night.
Hey, thanks, Ray. You're a friend. Appreciate it.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, so we're done talking about Seattle and Miami. What do you like in that game? That game opened Seattle either pick or -1. Now it's shot to Miami -2. Do you have a feel for that game at all?
I really don't. You got Kitna for the Seahawks with Dawkins and Mays, and then you got an aging Riggy Waters. There's another team I don't know what's going to happen with them.
Well, yeah, the thing you take in consideration here is, man, you got Holmgren. What is this, his 2nd year with Seattle?
Right.
And I'm really not sold on Kitna as a quarterback, but I got a lot of respect for Holmgren as a coach. And Dave Wannstedt, to me, has taken over almost an expansion team-like offense. Their defense, everybody knows, is very good. But that offense is absolutely brutal. And I couldn't see laying any money on that team until they prove to me they can score 17 to 24 points a game, at least sometimes.
Right.
We got another caller, please.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Good. Who's calling?
Hey, this is making great for a Friday night. This is Jeff.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Oh, great. Hey, I got a question for you.
Okay.
By the way, I think Pittsburgh's going to go to the Super Bowl, and you can put me down for that.
All right. Who's going to quarterback him?
Graham.
All right, I got that. I'll write that one down.
Yeah, it was a shame to see the other quarterback.
Stewart?
Yeah, it was a shame. He sure started out in his first years looking good, but he sure fizzled out quick.
It's like in the old adage in baseball. You can adjust to the fastball, but you can't adjust to the curveball. And Stewart threw him a few curveballs early.
Yeah, I think they got to make these guys work a little bit harder for their money. Give them, I think they're trying to jump on the cash a little bit too soon on some of these young guys. But one question I got for you, a team that used to be one of my favorites. You think the Raiders will ever turn around with Al Davis as owner?
Well, that's going to be a game we're going to be talking about in a couple of games from here. But since you asked the question, we'll go ahead and answer it. My personal opinion of the Raiders this year, I think they're going to be a real surprise team. I look for the Raiders to make the playoffs. Their defense, the defensive line, I look for a lot of sacks, and the secondary led by Woodson in the backfield, the guy from, was he from Michigan?
Yeah, but the last couple of years, they've had a lot of good talent, a lot of good coaches, but with Al Davis in there, man, he can sure throw a monkey wrench in it.
Well, I'm not a Raider fan, never have been, but I like their coach Gruden. I like Gannon. Gannon's the only quarterback in the NFL last year, I think, that took every snap.
Yeah.
And
like I said, the only problem I see with them is Al Davis needs to, they've had some good coaches too, and Al Davis needs to decide whether he's going to coach the team. And if he is going to coach him, I think he needs to get down there in the field and coach the team instead of, jacking with because he's had some good coaches on there.
I think Davis got a little caught up with the Raider image, just getting all the bad guys, and after a while, having all the people nobody wants, sometimes it doesn't work out for you. You need to start getting good guys and getting chemistry, and worried about winning the games, not worried about the off the field antics. And this guy was arrested twice, but he's okay. He can play.
Yeah.
Get a nice polished team. Look at what the Titans did last year, just with a team effort.
Yeah, it was kind of the same thing the Cowboys was going through.
Right.
A lot of
Oh,
those.
yeah.
But the thing is, what I thought was a real shame is what they did. What Al Davis did to Marcus Allen.
Oh, still doing it.
Yeah,
Still
that was a waste of some awful good talent there.
Yeah. He should have retired a Raider.
Yeah, he really should have. And like I said, there was a lot of good ones that could have gone.
They had their what's his name, the offensive tackle, Shell.
Yeah, Art Shell. I was a real fan of him. I thought they were going to go a long ways, coaching, when he was coaching the Raiders and everything. I thought, oh, man, but it just seemed like every time Art Shell would make a decision, Al Davis would step in.
Yeah, he'd step in right in front of the press, too.
Yeah, and that's what was a real shame. And that's where I think they're, until they can get him to sit up there in that press box, and I don't know, he needs to take up drinking or something, And,
yeah. We got a pick for the Super Bowl from you?
Yeah, Steelers.
Wow. I'm going to have to adjust the odds tomorrow first thing in the morning. Remind me.
Gotcha.
Three
I'll be there
Steeler
early.
bets. Wow. Okay, appreciate
Thanks a
the
lot.
call. Okay. Next game we're talking about, of course, is the Jets and the Packers. Jets, an all-time record, NFL record, 4 first-round draft picks. What do you think of the Jets? For 4 first-round picks, but of course this year no Bill Parcells.
Well, the biggest thing is Testaveri's going to have to find somebody besides Johnson now.
Yeah.
And on that side, that part I don't know who it is. I guess I'll have to
Corbett?
wait till. Well,
He's about all they got, right?
That's true, but now the number 1 defensive backs are going to be covering him
Well,
instead of getting all the other ones.
don't
Number
forget
2.
Keyshawn Johnson took a shot at Corbett again in the press. Keyshawn, you want to like the guy, but the stuff he says, calling what's his name, Ward, as the best receiver on the Jets now, a guy basically a third-down receiver. But like we said, Jets and the Packers, Jets on the road getting 2.5 points. We'll talk more about the game after a break. We got to go pay for this beautiful sports talk show. We'll be right back.
My mom stressed the importance of clear communication, honesty, and listening openly to others. As a family man, a successful local businessman, and a 38-year resident of the Valley, I am committed to the future positive growth of Pahrump and Nye County. All of these traits will allow me to serve you well as County Commissioner in District 5. My name is Henry Butch Neth, and I appreciate your vote on Election Day.
8-4 by Henry Neth.
Pahrump, some say it's the view. Maybe it's the friendly small town feeling. We all feel like family. Pahrump Valley View newspaper is all part of it. It's ours, local stories, merchants, events, and it's in your Las Vegas Review-Journal or Sun every Tuesday. Be part of it. It's family.
Welcome to Odyssey Garden and Greek Decor, located at 2620 North Leslie between Mesquite and Bella Vista, featuring top-quality fountains, bird baths, planters, statues, tables, and benches. Also fountains for inside the home or office. Orders and senior discounts are available. Visit our gift shop for Greek imports, including music boxes, alabaster statues, perfume, candles, jewelry, and copies of museum pieces. For quality and originality, it's Odyssey Garden and Greek Decor. Open every day from 9 to 6. Free local delivery. All major credit cards accepted.
There's a new look at Pahrump Station Plaza. Now there's easier access via the new Palm Tree Line Street, plus your gateway to these fine merchants.
The name you can count on, Roy Mankins Insurance, serving Pahrump since 1985. Dependable, knowledgeable, and reputable. Covering all your insurance needs. Roy Mankins Insurance, 1271 South Highway 160, 727-5222.
Hi, welcome back to Sports Talk. We got about 10 minutes left. I want to give you a clue on the trivia question. Two quarterbacks have thrown for the most touchdowns in the last 2 years. One's Brett Favre. The other quarterback is an NFC quarterback, and the clue is he played for Notre Dame in his college days. So that's the other clue I'm going to give you. Also, we're talking about Green Bay and the Jets. The Green Bay opened a 3-point favorite down to 2.5. The Jets come into the game with no Parcells. Who do you like in the game?
That's tough. It really all depends on how Favre's arm is and everything. He's got tendonitis. He also got the Bradford's going to miss.
Levens is out.
Levens is out for at least 4 weeks. It's tough.
Okay.
If I'm going to go on that, I'm going to have to take the Jets.
Yeah, well, it'll be hard. It'll be hard for the Jets to win in Lambeau, but I don't really have an opinion on the game. You could be right. We'll see. We got a caller. Go ahead.
Hi.
How's it going?
Okay. Could it be Favre and is it Johnson or Johnston from the
Nope.
Redskins?
Doesn't start with a J. That's another clue.
Okay.
Appreciate the call.
But I will vote for the Colts.
The Colts. You might have a winner there.
You got it.
Thank you.
But
All right. Okay, the next game on the docket here, we got the Chargers and the Raiders. Big news, of course, San Diego starts bad boy Ryan Leaf. First starting opening day last year. I remember he had a game where he was 1 of 14. They pick up Curtis Conway from the Bears, help him on offense. A healthy Junior Seau on defense going to help him. Going against the Raiders, against the defensive line, a lot of sacks, good defensive secondary, and Rich Gannon, and a team really underachieved for the last 3-4 years. The Raiders.
Chargers need a leader.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Leaf can mature a little bit and come out and play some football instead of.
He looked real. I seen him play a couple games in preseason. I'm one of the dummies that thought Ryan Leaf was better than Peyton Manning when he was drafted a couple years ago.
I would have been right in that boat with
Ryan Leaf looked like, Peyton Manning was always afraid in the pocket. It looked like at Tennessee.
Right.
Never could win nothing. Tennessee wins a championship when he leaves, ironically, but Peyton Manning definitely the better pro as of now. Go ahead. We got a caller, please.
Go ahead, caller.
Yes, this is Jan.
Yeah, how's it going?
I haven't got an answer for your question, but I'd like to pick the Broncos for the Pro Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
All right. Appreciate the call.
You betcha.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, right now this is a scary thought, listeners here. We got the Steelers and the Bears meeting in the Super Bowl. So we better get some calls here. We got about 8 minutes left on the clock. Bears and the Steelers. I don't think I can handle that. Okay, Sunday night, rematch of the lateral, or whatever you want to call it. Tennessee going into Buffalo. Last year, Buffalo, of course, first in total defense. I don't think they've ever gotten over that pass or lateral or whatever it was.
Right.
Tennessee coming in really the consummate team, running, a good solid quarterback, a good backup quarterback, and the old Donald. Wide receivers, don't forget Javon Curse, the freak defensive lineman, and a nice secondary. They're coming in, a coach, Jeff Fisher, to me, one of the better coaches in the NFL, going against Wade Phillips, who, last year basically told Doug Flutie to hit the walls. Yeah, Rob Johnson starts all of a sudden. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. Before we go to the game, we got a caller?
Yes, hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm calling back again. I already voted for the Bears, but I think I can vote again, right?
Well, you can give me an AFC team, not another NFC team.
Oh, no, can't do that, sorry.
Okay.
But I will take a guess at the question.
Okay, go ahead.
Brett Favre?
Yep.
And Chris Chandler.
Nope. All right.
Oh, it's got to be close. He had 41.
Well,
Brett had 53, right?
Favre had 53, and this quarterback had 53 also.
Ooh, okay. That's
I'll give you another clue. Speaking of Brett Favre, last year in one of the most exciting games, this quarterback took a quarterback draw on the last play of the game and ran it into the end zone at Lambeau Field against the Packers. So that's another clue if you can remember that.
Well, that's a good clue. I'll have to think about it and hopefully call back within 8 minutes or 7 by now.
And he also plays for the Carolina Panthers. There's another clue.
Ooh, we thought so. We thought so.
Okay, you got to call back, though. I got to let somebody else make a guess.
Thanks, Mike.
Appreciate it.
You're
Okay,
welcome,
Tennessee and Buffalo. Rob Johnson's going to start, of course. Buffalo loses Bruce Smith. A pick-em game. Nobody seems to...
Well, they lose all, 3 legends?
Yeah.
Smith, Reed, and Thomas.
All at once.
All at once.
Yeah, and the Flutie's hurt, but the groin injury supposedly better. So we're going to see.
Tennessee adds Carl Pickens.
Yeah, Tennessee is going to be tough. I tell you what, not getting very much respect is Tennessee at 8 and 10 to 1 to win the Super Bowl, 12 to 1 some places. This is a team
and the part that you were talking about with Manning, I see McNair doing the same thing. He run the ball too
Yeah,
much. He
yeah.
got a little pressure in the
He
pocket.
really adjusted
Needs
his
to throw a
game.
little more.
He adjusted his game from college when he was all air, just rolling and throwing and firing and flinging. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Billy.
Yes.
I got a team for you, Buffalo.
The Bills.
The Bills.
The Bills.
Okay, I'm marking the Bill. Who's going to quarterback them to the Super Bowl? Hello?
Rob, whatever his name is.
Who?
Rob, whatever
Rob
his name
Johnson?
is. Huh?
You want Johnson over Flutie then? Is that what
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to put RJ next to the Bills for you.
Okay.
Okay, appreciate it. Okay, Monday night, Denver at St. Louis. Denver last year decimated by injuries all year long. Brian Greasy, I believe it's his second year. Terrell Davis coming back. Alandis Gary, the running back, a great year last year for
Yep.
Denver. I mean, being able to pile up those yards with an injury, an injury-riddled team. They lose Shannon Sharp, but the thing here, don't forget, these two teams have won the last 3 Super Bowls. St. Louis is going to be hopping on Monday night. Speaking of Monday night, everybody watching here, Terrible's Town has a free Monday night party with lots of great giveaways in the bingo room. Doors open at 5:30. Make sure you go there. It's absolutely free. Come to the sports book for more details. Appreciate it if you stop
Now, this
by.
is at Terriblestown.
Yeah, not at Lakeside.
Not down at Lakeside.
Not Lakeside. Before we get to the game, we got a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Okay, I have to come up with Favre and Burline.
You got it, Favre and Burline.
Okay.
Okay, hold on one second. I got to see what you get here. Hold on. I got my little buddy, William Dean, coming over. Hey, pal. Who do you pick? Hold on. Who do you pick for the Super Bowl?
The Jaguars.
The Jaguars? Oh, you got a
Jacksonville.
Jaguars hat, huh? Let me get the Jags over there. Okay, who am I speaking with?
I got Joe Bancroft.
Okay, Joe. You know where Terriblestown is, right?
Oh, yeah, I visit you now and then.
Okay, Joe. Oh, yeah. Okay, Joe. I know your voice. We got a gift certificate good for one pizza at Terriblestown Lakeside. They got nice, giant, huge pizzas, can feed 4 or 5 people.
Okay, by
So-
golly, I'll see you
So
tomorrow.
you come by tomorrow. I'll be there
Yeah.
tomorrow all day. If you can come by, I'll write your name on this and I'll bring it in for you.
Okay, Bill, I'll be there tomorrow morning.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay, thanks.
All right,
a lot. Bye-bye.
All right, pal. We got the Jaguars. You go ahead and take that over. Appreciate it, son.
Take it over where?
Over there.
Okay, thanks.
All right, buddy. Okay, the Monday night game, Denver at St. Louis. 6.5 point. The Rams are favorite. We only got about 4 minutes here. Who do you like in that game?
This is going to be my pick. I'm going to
Okay.
take the Broncos. I think they're going to be back on track and everything with Greasy, and I think Terrell Davis is going to be in his running game form.
And he's going to be switching on and off, they said, with Gary, so that's going to give him some time to get that leg in.
Definitely.
in shape,
And
you
plus, they're not going to be worn out.
No.
And they're going to have plenty of
Remember,
running power all the way through the whole game.
And Rams were first in offense last year, but Denver's defense, even though decimated by injuries, was still tough. And last year, Price had 13 sacks. And in the last 3 games, when St. Louis went to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, all of them were tight games. They were losing to the Vikings at halftime, ended up winning by 12, beat Tampa Bay in the last minute, and was 1 yard away from going to overtime with Tennessee. So when they play the higher caliber teams, they had the weakest schedule in the NFL last year,
Right,
and they were
they're right.
13-3, and they deserved to
Little
win the Super
different-
Bowl.
little different
They
schedule
finished
this
it.
time.
Minnesota couldn't finish it 2 years ago. Rams finished it. They did it. They won the Super Bowl. But this year's might be another story. Denver's your best bet.
My
We got
best
that documented. We got another caller. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Bill.
How's it going?
Hey, this is Craig.
How's it going, bud?
Hey, I'm going for, I like to go for the Chargers, but I can't, so I'm going to go for Washington and the Jaguars.
Who do you like to win it?
The Jaguars, man.
Okay, it's 2 for the Redskins and 2 for the Jags.
I think Denver, Washington's got some good defense, but we have to look on their offense now.
Well, like I said earlier, Washington's got the best team talent-wise. Perry
Talent-wise,
agreed with me. But I'm not sold on their coach. I never thought a coach could lose championships for a team. But this guy, last year, his team should have been 13-3, not 10-6. They should have had home field advantage. They shouldn't have needed to spend all this money that they spent to get these, as Perry said, older players.
But look at the Jaguars. Jaguars haven't really changed too much of a team this year.
Jaguars, they lost Tony Baselli. They had Fred Taylor, James Stewart's gone. They're going to rely on McCardle and Smith again and Brunell. It's the same old Jaguar team. They need to finish the season like the Rams did last year. And their coach, Coughlin, is that his name, Coughlin?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Coughlin is a perfectionist. He's not going to settle for a 14-2 season and then being eliminated, 3 losses to the same team. They lost to Tennessee, was their only losses last year, 3 of them.
And I had your answer, man. I've been trying to call in.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to chip in around here and get call waiting for Vern.
Okay.
Yeah. So donate at the sports book. We'll get that for him.
No problem.
Appreciate the call.
Later.
Okay, Perry's best play of the week, Denver Broncos plus 6.5
Plus
Monday
6.5.
night. It's going to be a great game. My play of the week, it's tough. I like a lot of different games, I like 3 or 4 games. The one I'm going to pinpoint is the Colts. Colts, I know, play on artificial turf, going into Kansas City on grass. Road favorite against a team that's 31-6 at home. It's a home dog in their last 37
Opening
games.
game.
Opening game.
Derek Thomas situation.
Derek
Wow.
Thomas died, unfortunately. But the thing I got to take into consideration is just talent and in preparation. I know a lot of people down Jim Moore as a coach. I think Jim Moore gets the most out of his players. I mean, he took the Saints, a team that hadn't won in 30 years, to the playoffs in the 80s, and finally had enough. I mean, you know, he took them to a plateau. They leveled out. They started falling down, and he could never get them back up again. This Colt team isn't at a plateau. They're getting better.
They're getting better.
And
the way they lost their playoff, they haven't won a playoff game and everything like that. It's going to be a different story this year.
I think the Colts come out to play. The line opened -4, down to 3.5 in some places. Kansas City, like I said, a lot of problems. I don't think they have the weapons to match up with the Colts. Looking at the audience's opinion here for the Super Bowl, we got 3 for the Steelers, and in the AFC we got 2 for the Jaguars. We had 2 for the Redskins. So we're going to match the Steelers, or excuse me, in NFC we had the 2 for the Redskins and 2 for the Bears. So we're going to make it the Steelers and Redskins, since the Redskins are the favorite. But I'm going to add my vote for the Super Bowl, and I'm going to agree with my son and put the Jaguars in it. So we're going to tie the Steelers and eliminate the Steelers and make it the Jaguars and the Redskins.
See, you didn't ask mine.
Who do you like? The Colts to win
it all.
Colts to win it all. Well, it's been a great show. I want to thank everybody for watching, calls. We got one more? No more calls? Okay, it's been a great show. I appreciate everybody listening and calling in. Next week, we're going to have a lot more giveaways than just pizza. I'm working on a situation here. We're going to throw out maybe 4 or 5 questions and have a lot of different things to give away, maybe some hats and some T-shirts, glasses, a lot of different things here at Sports Talk. It's the first week, getting rid of all the rough edges, introduce you to our sponsor, who's nice enough to sponsor the show, my buddy Perry Swanson, always a good guest to have on here, very knowledgeable. Again, I want to thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next Friday on Sports Talk. Going down to T-Town for a beer. What about you, buddy?
Sounds good to me.
See you later.
Good night.